Of course, I got the teacher himself, the legend on show, as we're going to share about comedy back in our country, and of course, Christian comedy. I'm so honored to have you on show this night or tonight. How are you, sir?
Amazing. The pleasure is all mine.
Okay, you can say to our viewers, and of course, let them know we got Pablo on show.
Well, this is yours truly, Pablo. Extremely excited to be with you on Google Day Ideas. You're the real deal, I should say.
Oh, man. Of course, you came around to Christian fan comedy tonight, and of course, it was very impressive for me when I came out the first time. And of course, when I saw you gonna be part of this, I was really super impressed too. How do you find Christian comedy, and of course, doing clean comedy in our state back in Uganda?
I think for me this is eye-opening, and what we have just seen here today is the tip of the iceberg. There's still more where this came from. For every comedian who came on stage had something different about them and something unique. But for me, the icing of the cake was that almost every joke was biblical, and people hardly believe that there's humor in the Bible. But the Bible is also very clear. It says we are created for God's pleasure. And I could see a joke, people getting jokes from different books of the Bible, from Exodus, to a point that somebody got a joke from Numbers. I was like, wow.
Back in time, someone used to joke about Ebikorwa, Acts, and of course, Galatia, and of course, the Genesis. But of course, bringing that into a relationship kind of thing. But of course, coming out from the Bible, and I was really so impressed too back in the days. And I thought, because I was thinking back in the days, I want to join Satchula, but I was blessed. God brought me right here.
Absolutely. If you are to realize, actually, comedy began in the church.
Yeah.
If you read the Bible, there is what they used to call the jokers, the ones who used to entertain the kings during the days of Pharaoh. Yeah, and those were the people who used to come and calm him down, and if people only knew that comedy is a funny way of being serious, we address serious issues in a lighter way, and it's a vehicle that when it comes to communication. So for me, I do believe that comedy is biblical as well. People might think that, but that's not biblical. But no, when you look at it right from the beginning, from the creation, you find lots of humor in there. And I think for Uganda, where we are at now, every stand-up comedian in the Christian circles just needs to buy shades, because the future is bright. We have seen people now appreciating comedy. Those days, the pastoral team found it a little bit, jittery, cold feet when they are welcoming them. Reason being that comedy in Uganda had been vulgarized, full of obscenities. But then the comedians I saw tonight have deliberately made a choice that they are going to trade clean humor, biblical humor, everyday situations that anyone can relate with, and they're also very informative and educative. And the beauty is that they don't need parental guidance. Anyone can watch this.
Christians, of course, they know what to say. And there was really a simple about that. And of course, another question would: how do you engage more Christians? The parents, the moms, of course, in the church. Sometimes they feel like when I go there, they're going to, of course, as you say, they feel comedy is, not okay, as we hear and we watch others in the secular.
I think the parents out there, especially those who are watching this, they should know that the world is changing extremely so fast, and if you do not change will change you. We have kids who have old heads on young shoulders. They know too much. They're already exposed to technology. They're exposed to different kinds of things. And if we don't nip it in the bud now, and the only way to do that is to understand them, to talk to them, and then encourage them. If a kid says, I'm interested in singing or being a comedian, direct them in the righteous path, so that when they grow, they'll still walk in the ways of the Lord. So I do believe that it's our call as parents to look at our children and understand what is in for them, what is it that they want. Otherwise, if we do not hold our kids by our hands and support them, then somebody out there is waiting to support them, especially the vultures.
Yes. And of course, I've seen back in USA, they have comedy schools. They have where they mentor comedians, and I saw a couple of them went to America. Like Teacher Pamire, he was taken to America. I don't know if you've been there too, to learn more. And of course, how do we also get that back in our country so that we can say, when I'm going to learn about joking, I can run to Pablo?
That's a very good question. First of all, in Uganda, unfortunately, like some of the entertainment industries, we don't have a regulatory authority. So anybody who comes and stands on stage, cracks 2-3 jokes, is qualified as a comedian. Some are just, mediocre stuff. But we have so far now we have an association, the Uganda Comedians Association, which we do believe that is going to graduate into something that can create institutions where we can mentor young people and show them the structure of humor and the things they should look at above the belt jokes, not below the belt. And again, also, it's all about mentorship, because we will be judged by time. If we do not help them now, then we shall successfully fail in our own, path, because we will have failed to set the right precedence.
Okay.
Yes.
And this side of the Christian part of it, our legendary failed to mentor a couple of young artists when you come to the music part of it. I want to ask you this question, frankly. Have you mentored a couple of young people whom we can see in 10 years to come, in 5 years to come, brought by Mr. Pablo?
Well, I can comfortably say that we have at least 12 to 15 that we mentored with Teacher Pamela in what we used to call the comedy clinic, which we started. And most of the people that you see who do comfortable humor are passed through that space. So I can see that the future is bright, and we have some comedians who have offered to mentor children in schools, and so I do believe that the future of comedy, especially in the Christian circles, is extremely bright. Yes.
Of course, it's laughter, and of course, it's fun. Are you going to say your last remarks to our viewers watching Google TV? And of course, a message to the pastors to bring in those segments of comedian back in our churches, really?
Yes. Oh, well, first of all, I would like to thank today's VIP, who happens to be none other than the viewer. Thank you so much for choosing to watch Google TV. And to the pastoral team out there, embrace the young people who love laughter. I do believe that it's also a vehicle of communication as well, and we are also planning to come to your church. So look out to a church near you. We shall be coming there just to share the jokes and laugh, because it takes less muscles to smile than to frown. So we do believe that it's a good way to celebrate God's goodness.
And sometimes we have a lot of things on our hearts, and then when you make me laugh, I feel like, whoa, now I'm very cool. Thank you very much. Okay, we are still on. Of course, the laughter is too much back here. It's fun in Christ. And of course, we are keeping on. We're going to give you everything that is happening right here on show.